So 2006, after doing a little bit better, we finally have our first profitable year. And you might think to yourself, boy, it seems like from 2001 to 2006, 5 years without making one profitable year, that you would have given up. In fact, you probably should have given up, right? And this is, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but this is one of the lessons of entrepreneurship, is that if you stick with these things and you keep finding a way to live, you'll make it. And I think that story is definitely more true for us than many others. So 2007, we transitioned to software. What we realized was we had a good consulting business. It was growing. It had finally had a profitable year, and suddenly we changed business models. You're thinking to yourself, I'm listening to a crazy person talk. Why did they invite him? I can't argue with that logic, but to be fair, we had a consulting business, but it's incredibly hard to scale consulting, right? So consulting, essentially, you take clients in, they pay you money, but you need people. You need, human resources, well-paid human resources, to do a good job to scale up the practice of consulting. And that's really hard, particularly in a field like SEO, where there's not a lot of talented people, and many of the most talented people run their own firms or are in-house at successful agencies. And training people up takes a lot of time away from clients, so you sort of need a revenue base before you can do that. We found it tremendously challenging, and we had built up a really popular community. The SEO Moz blog now is getting, I want to say, between 8,000 and 10,000 visitors a day, unique visitors a day to the site. And we thought, well, consulting is a terrible way to monetize, because maybe we take 3 or 4 clients a day. What we need to do is find a revenue generation system that can scale with the amount of people who are coming. Now, advertising is a natural one, right? When you have a popular website, advertising is something nearly everyone invests in at some point. And we did try it, and we could make some decent money, but advertising only scales if you can scale the content, scale the visitors, and grow essentially the pie of people who are coming to your site. And our bias was sort of towards serving a very specific population, SEOs, which wasn't a huge market. It's now become a much bigger market, but wasn't a huge market. So we built this software service. For anyone who remembers, it's now, I think it starts at $99 a month, but it started at $39 a month. And we still have people that pay that $39 a month rate that we've grandfathered in over the years. So in 2007, after we do this in February, that summer, Michelle Goldberg, who's there from Ignition Partners, one of the, I think the second largest venture capital firm in the Seattle area, calls me up. So does, almost simultaneously, Kelly Smith from Curious Office. So Curious Office is a small private investment fund, like what you'd call, I think today you'd call it an angel group, but at the time they were just a private investment firm. And Kelly and Michelle both sort of took me out to lunch a few times and said, what are you doing with this SEO thing? Because we think this is going to be a business, going to be a big market sector, right? That this is going to be an exciting area. I think this is one of the things, when I've spoken to people, when I was at Social Media Week in Milan and today here in Rome speaking to Tiziana, that Italy really lacks a lot of this specifically type of activity where someone like a Michelle and a Kelly will come to an entrepreneur who's doing something small but interesting and successful and say, this could be big, this could be really big. And I can't really underestimate the impact, the influence that had. Having them come to me and say, we think SEO is going to be big, we think that you can take this to a big place. It's not that they even told me exactly what to do or gave me the ideas, just them saying, this could be a $100 million company, this could be a $1 billion company, was enough to get me thinking in a different way about where the business could go and what it could and should be. So in November of 2007, we took 1.1 million, $1 million from Ignition, 100,000 from Curious Office,